Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Eileen Primrose. I'm one of the account managers here at KIC ICT. Thanks for joining and welcome to this webinar on Continua's document capture solution for automating AP processes, which integrates seamlessly with both NAV and Business Central. Continua are one of KIC's key partners, and document capture is one of the most popular apps which our customers implement. So over the next 40 minutes or so, Mikhail from Continua will demonstrate how document capture can save you a lot of time by reducing workload on manual data entry for processing invoices. As we go through the presentation, please just post any questions you may have in the question box, which is at the top right-hand side of your screen there, as we've left some time at the end to answer any questions that you have. So I'll now just hand over to Mikhail for the presentation. Thanks, Mikhail.
Thank you, Eileen. And welcome, everybody. So this afternoon, I would like to start off with this AI image, which I've created for this webinar. Just imagine it's Monday morning, 8:30. You're back at the office. Big piles of invoices and Excel spreadsheets are waiting for you after your relaxing, sunny weekend. Back to reality, right? So again, you spent your day, all day, entering purchase invoice data into your system. And it might be the fact that this image does look a little bit, of course, it's a bit exaggerated, but it might look familiar for some of you. But the good news is you're in the right place at the right time then this afternoon, because today we'll be on how Continua Software and KIC ICT with our solution document capture can help you streamline your AP processes. So first, maybe let me again introduce myself. This is not me, but hello, my name is Michiel Eggens, as Eileen said. I am a partner account manager from Continua, and in my role, I am responsible for maintaining relationships with our partners in the UK. Today's agenda, I will first talk a little bit on Continua itself, introduce Continua, and then I will show you some great features of our solution. And afterwards, I'll give you a like a mini demo inside Business Central, so you can see and experience what document capture looks and feels like in real life. And as Eileen said, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the questions box, and we will make sure we'll answer those at the end of this webinar. So document capture is our solution for scanning, registering, and archiving of your purchase invoices. And as said, we every 6 months, together with the major releases of Microsoft in the cloud, we will also update and release new versions of our document capture solution. And not so long ago, we have released e-documents. And e-documents is a module within document capture, allowing you to exchange documents, electronic documents with your customers and vendors. So we are a certified PEPL access point, making sure that you do not need an external broker to send XML documents via the PEPL network. With our e-documents module, we are able to support multiple international XML formats, where you can think of PEPL, of course, but also OUBL, Ex-Rechnung for the German market. And of course, we will be constantly adding more variants in the near future. We make sure that the different formats are always compliant to the standards, but we also have the flexibility to customize the data within each format. So traditionally, document capture could only receive invoices, but now we can also send them via our e-delivery network, via the PEPL network. So this is, of course, not where we stop, because we see in Europe and the European Union, we see a lot of countries that have legislation for this coming up very soon. So we're not stopping here, and we are introducing different document types to further automate the procure-to-pay flow. And by automating this flow, your customers can focus more on the relationship with their business partners and save a lot of time, of course. It's very easy for you to start with the e-documents module. You can just activate it within the essential module if you use our solution in Continia Cloud or in the cloud. It has an assisted setup guide which guides you through the process, and you will be up and running within a few minutes. The next new version is about our web approval portal, and I will show you this web approval portal during the demo later on. Beforehand, it was only possible to view the web approval portal and view only your purchase invoice documents. But we also have another great solution, which is named Expense Management for submitting expenses. And expenses can also be approved in this web approval portal. And it might be the fact that you have multiple companies set up in your Business Central database and you use document capture in multiple companies. And also you want to approve documents over the multiple companies that you might have. And now we've enhanced our web approval portal by, how do you say this? One overview where you can see every document over every company in your Business Central database. So it's really easy to have a full overview of all your purchase documents, your expenses, maybe you approve your sales orders within our web approval portal. That's also possible. A complete overview is now guaranteed if you use the web approval portal. And now, after these two great new features, we go live and we go and dive into Business Central, where I will show you what document capture looks and feels like as promised. So I think mentioning the fact that our solutions are fully integrated within Business Central is very important. And because our solution is integrated in Business Central, it's very easy to deploy it. It follows the same structure. It follows the same way of working as Business Central. So it's really easy for the users to adopt working with our document capture solution. And of course, we start off here in the role center. And as we can see over here, depending on the role that you have within your company, you can see the document capture activities. On the left-hand side, this is where you see how many, nice timing. This is where you see how many documents came in, and they can come in various ways. The first way is, of course, the old-fashioned way by post. But of course, you might already have an email address for your purchase invoices. And what we'll do, we will link your email address to document capture so that document capture will automatically upload or download all the invoices for you into Business Central. They will be scanned by the OCR scanner, and we now have AI in the OCR scanner allowing you to spend even less time in setting up document capture. It's really easy to set templates up for vendors. In fact, it's not even necessary anymore to create templates. So back to the role center, where we could see how many documents came in. In this case, we have 10 documents for us waiting to handle. In the middle, we can see purchase approval for invoices as well as for credit memos. We have 2 documents awaiting approval. And if I open this tile, you can exactly see where is this document waiting approval, in this case with this user. More on the approvals later on. And on the right-hand side here, we have an additional module called purchase contracts. And in purchase contracts, we allow you to create or to keep track of your recurring cost. There, where you don't create a purchase order, this is where you could utilize purchase contracts. Maybe for a LinkedIn subscription or some car rentals like the example here. If I open the contract card, and a contract can be created from 2 places, A, from the purchase contract module, but B, document capture will also recognize recurring invoices that you might receive, and it will give the accounts payable team suggestion to create a purchase contract for this in the document journal. So you can see you fill in the various fields. You attach an owner, a purchaser to this contract, and he is basically the owner of this contract. You define a start date and also maybe an ending date. Pricing, whether it's fixed or variable, and if it's invoiced per month, quarterly, or maybe annually. And by defining an end date, you can also have an automatic email sent out to the contract owner as soon as the contract is about to expire. And he or she can contact the vendor, renegotiate the contract, amend it maybe, and then put it back into live again. All the invoices that come in, you can automatically link to the purchase contract. And if the amount matches to what the contract beholds, then it can be posted without any additional needed approvals, if you like. I was mentioning expense management. In this case, we also have expense management activated, and we can see all the expense management activities as well. But for this webinar, we'll focus on document capture, on the invoices. And now, whenever you use document capture, this is where you will process the invoices. The document journal. So on the right-hand side, you'll always see an image of this invoice. We'll see the to-do list here, basically all the invoices that I need to handle now. The template, and down below we can see the comments. This is a first invoice that I received from a vendor, and as you can see, it picks up a lot of data already from the document. It recognized the vendor. You can see this is First Up Consultants, and it recognized the vendor First Up Consultants. It recognized it based on this VAT number on the right-hand side that you can see on the invoice, but also it'll look for additional information if there's no VAT number on the invoice. So the first time you receive an invoice, you need to check all the data in the fields, and then you'll define how do I want to process this invoice basically. Now in this case, before the demo, I did process a first invoice for this vendor, and I set up in the system that always when I receive an invoice from this vendor, I would like to post it to General Ledger A. So the only thing I have to do now is register. And of course, this registration of the invoice when it comes in, this also can be automated fully. Now you can see by registering the document, we'll get a registered purchase invoice within Business Central. Normally, we'll type in the data here if you do it the old-fashioned way. And as you can see, I predefined GL account 31101. And this one is ready to be posted or sent for approval. And now I can send it for approval as well. Everything from A to Z can be automated. And I think this is quite important to mention. So from the point where the document comes in until the final posting of the document, every step that you take can be fully automated. However, in this little demo, I would like to do some things manually because I need to explain to you how the system works. But on the template card, you can set up how far you want to go with automation. Now, easy invoice, one general ledger account. I have a few other examples within this demo system where we have some line items here. But I would like to show you this invoice first, because one of the strengths of document capture is also the order matching module, allowing you to match your incoming purchase invoices against your orders or your receipt lines if possible. And again, first invoice for this vendor. We'll check the data here in the fields. Maybe, I don't know, let's simulate that document capture made a mistake. It didn't capture the invoice number. As you can see, the field is empty. But more important, down below in the comments, we can see this warning. Invoice number is not correct. And this is, I cannot process this invoice now any further. I first need to look at this comment or this warning, and I need to correct it before I can further process. Field is empty, so obviously we need to capture this invoice number that is on the invoice. And I click with my left-hand mouse button, and again with my right-hand mouse button. And now document capture picked up the invoice number. No more comments. So ready to register this document. But For this particular invoice in the demo system, we have some receipt lines. So we ordered some goods. There was a PO. We have some received goods in our warehouse, and I would like to match this invoice against those receipt lines. So I clicked on match lines or match document, and now the matching screen opens. And again, this you can also set up in the background that it runs automatically through the system and finds any orders that belongs to this purchase invoice. You can match on total amount level, and then document capture will only look at the total amount of the invoice and the order. If they match, it's 100% match and it will go through. But of course, more accurate is the line matching. And in this case, we will match the lines. So we will exactly know, did we receive, let me enlarge it a little bit, did we receive those 20 lamps for 25 pounds, etc. And this will make your match very accurate. I'll filter on order number, so it will only show us the purchase receipt lines that we will match this invoice against today. And yeah, you can do several things. This is one invoice against one order, so pretty easy. But if it's like an invoice that contains multiple purchase order numbers, multiple orders, then document capture could pick up the order number from the lines and match it against the different orders in your system. That's no problem, of course. You can also set tolerances, maybe on quantities or on amounts, on line item level or total level. And if the match is within this tolerance that you set up per vendor, then it's a match. You can process the invoice. If it falls outside this tolerance, then it'll give you a warning and it will show you what's wrong basically, so you can take action. Click on perform match here in the top, and now it matches the invoice against the receipt lines. And as we can see on the right hand side, it was a complete match. There is no difference, fortunately. If there's a difference, it can be spotted in this column, and the line where the difference is in will not be made bold. Let's say if we run the matching in the background, and we go back to the document journal, if there was something wrong with the match, then it will give you a comment here down below. But of course, in this little demo, I would like to show you the happy flow, and we can now see that indeed this invoice was fully matched with the purchase receipt. So ready to register. And I'll click on register. And now because the invoice matched, we could skip the approval. This is also a setting that you can do. But for demo purposes, I would like to still send this document for approval. There we go. All right. Let's do this one as well. I can do it really quickly. The line items. So a cost invoice we would like to post to one general ledger. We also have some items here, and in this particular case, we do not have a purchase order in the system, but I do want to capture the lines of this invoice. And this is only a one-time setting. So basically now I define if this invoice for not publishers comes in, then I would like to capture the lines, and I would like to translate those lines separately. And once I've set this up once I set this up, the next time the invoice comes in, it'll go through automatically. I'll use AI to capture the lines. We can do it manually, but if you want to do it manually, you wouldn't be here this afternoon, right? So let's click on AI and let's do this. Let the system do the work for us. And now you can see it captured the line items, the line details here. And these are all filled in the fields. And now if I have a cross-reference table in my system, automatically it would maybe translate the different lines. But in this case, we do not have it. And now I could say, okay, so for this London chair, we have a different item number. And also for the Paris chair, we also have a different item number. But this mouse pad, I would like to still post it to a general, or post it to the office supplies general ledger. And of course, document capture will remember this translation so that the next time we receive an invoice with these items on it, then it will be processed automatically and apply the different translations automatically as well. As you can see, the line details filled in here in the purchase invoice screen. And then I could send for approval. All right, so far so good. Let's go back and see what the roll center looks like now. What happened in the roll center? We processed some invoices. We had 2 outstanding for approval. Now we have 5 invoices outstanding for approval. And the approval can basically happen in 2 places. So of course you can approve purchase invoices within Business Central. But as I mentioned in my PowerPoint slides, we also have a very nice web approval portal. Whenever you send a document for approval, the approver will receive a notification email. And in this notification email, there is a link. And whenever you click on this link, based on what has been set up for you, you will be directed to either the web approval portal, as I'm simulating right now, or you'll be directed to Business Central, where you have, like here, the full overview of all the documents that you need to approve. And this notification email, of course, you can schedule. So once per invoice, once per day, one per week, maybe. And also we've added some reminder email functionality. So let's say this approver receives his first notification email, doesn't do anything, doesn't take action. Maybe you can send out the first automatic email to him 2 days after the first notification, reminding him that there are some documents that need his approval. And maybe you can send a second one as well. So clicking on the link will open up the portal. If you also use expense management, but if you also use document capture and approve your purchase orders, you can also use this web approval portal. And as mentioned, you'll have a full overview of all the different document types across the different companies that are set up in your system. The archive, it's empty in my demo system, but this is where I, as an approver, can look up what did I approve last week for this vendor. And here on the right-hand side, I can set up my out of office in case I am going on vacation. Now, let's open up this first invoice and explain to you how you can approve. The first way is based on an approver and a limit. So within Continia, I can approve up to £1,000. If the invoice is below, it'll only have to go to me. If it's above, then, or if it exceeds the amount, then it'll go to the next approver with a higher limit. And this is how you can build in different layers with approvers and their amount limits. The second method is based on vendors. So in this example, we have a first up consultants invoice. You could say always send it to, well, let's stick to the demo system, always send it to Robin. But if we receive an invoice from a different vendor, then they will always need to go to Esther only. That's the second method. And the third method is that you can, if you use dimension values within Business Central, maybe you use cost centers, you would be able to approve based on the different cost centers. So if you have an invoice with 2 lines, one for cost center A and one for cost center B, maybe, then you could have this invoice approved by 2 different approvers. I can approve, also reject. If I'm rejecting this invoice, I'm forced to fill in a reason. Otherwise, the accounts payable team doesn't know what's going on. If I approve the invoice, the next one will appear. I'll approve as well. And in this case, I can leave a comment for my colleague. Hi, Esther, because Esther is the next one. I checked and it is all good. So you can leave your comment, visible for the next approvers, fully traceable within Business Central. I could even add an attachment should it be needed. What can we do more? I can forward the invoice, maybe first approve and then forward, but I can also forward without approval. Maybe I'm not a correct approver. And I can also forward and return to me for approval. Maybe I have a question. I can send it to my colleagues in the warehouse, have it sent back, and then still approve the invoice or reject it. I can also put it on hold. Maybe I'm awaiting a credit memo. I can put this in the comment, and in this way, everybody has an overview of where the invoices are within the system. I will now empty this to-do list in the web approval portal and then show you what the approvals look like in Business Central. I'll click on purchase approval entries, and there I can see the 3 invoices that were exceeding the 5,000 threshold where this demo user can approve up to. And in this case, I could do the same. I could approve. I can see the comment of my colleague, Robin. Hi, Esther. I checked and it's all good. So who am I? I'm just approving this document then. And also the last one I can approve. Whenever the documents have been fully approved, they come back to you in the finance team, so to say, in the release bin with the status released for sure. And after, I can do a final check maybe here, or I could even run a job queue on this posting that every day at 7 o'clock maybe, all invoices within this bin can be posted automatically. For now, I'll post them in a batch. And after the posting process, document capture stops. And yeah, the payment process might take over. Now back to the roll center. No more outstanding documents. Maybe one final thing, how do you find your documents back? Within Business Central, basically everywhere it touches something. So you think of the general ledger, the VAT entries, the vendor card for sure. You can find this document back. And also we have this document search option, which is very handy. And this allows you basically to search for any word that is on the invoice. So it can be an invoice number, it could be multiple invoice numbers, it could also be a part of the vendor name. I want to see all invoices for this vendor, not publishers. And this is where I can see all the different documents that are in my system. The whole document is fully text searchable, so to say. So any word that is on the invoice you can search for. And that is what I wanted to show you today on document capture. I hoped you liked what you just saw. And if you want to know more, then please refer to KIK ICT, to your representative. And I want to finalize my demo with one more slide, and that is this one. So you remember the slide that I started this demo with, a big messy accounts payable office. And whenever you've implemented, or KIK ICT has implemented document capture with you, then this is what your accounts payable office will look like in the future. Happy employees, clean desks, and just a lot of efficiency gained. So again, thank you very much. If there's any questions, Aileen.
Yes,
Time.
thanks. Thank you. Thanks for that, Michael. I'm sure everyone could see from the demo how much time and effort can be saved from processing purchase invoices. We do have a few questions. So the first one being, do people who only need to approve purchase invoices need a full NAV or Business Central license?
No, that's a good question. I showed you the web approval portal indeed, and our portal has been designed for approvers, allowing them to only have a Microsoft team member license. So not a full user license is necessary when you approve documents in our web approval portal.
Great, thanks, Michael. And second question, can you match the purchase invoice to both the purchase order and the receipt?
Yes, that is very much possible. Of course, we can do the three-way matching too. Yeah.
Good, thank you. And is what formats are supported for capturing invoices is the last question we have.
So yeah, mainly it'll be PDF files, but we can also, like I said, handle various XML files, either attached to an email or via the Peppel network, as I showed you when I was talking on e-documents. But whenever you receive an Excel or a Word file, then this doesn't really, it can be handled by our software. So this needs to be converted into a PDF file. And then we can, of course, process the invoice.
Okay, thank you. Just looking to see if there's any more questions coming in there. I don't see any other questions. Just give people a chance to post if there's anything there.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just see. I think there's another one coming in. Nope. Okay, well, just also to let everyone know, we will be sending the recording of the session in the next couple of days, so everyone will receive the recording. We also put the recording on our website, so you can go to our website and access there if you want to share with any colleagues. So we'll finish off now, but please do reach out to your KIK account manager if anybody would like any further information, has any further questions, or would like some pricing on Continua document capture. And thanks once again for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a
Bye.
nice day.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks.